if you say you're losing your privacy, if you say you're losing your peace of mind, if you say you're losing your sleep, well, then you're getting so much money, you're living this lavish life. So that's just the price that you're paying. But I don't think artists should be complaining about anything. Success does leave you lonely, but I was lonely before getting successful also. Do you think any actor playing a gangster has a social responsibility?
Is that a question for me?
Hi, this is Parmish Verma for Brut.
Hi, Parmish. Thank you for speaking with Brut.
Thank you for having me, Ji.
There is this image that, rock stars have a very glamorous life. How much of it is true?
Very true. Depends what's glamorous for you. I think for me, being able to live with my parents in the city that I was born in and being able to go at a farm, every second day and just chilling with the boys that I grew up with, that is a very glamorous life. For somebody, it could be, wearing a certain type of clothes, buying a certain type of cars, flying a certain type of way, going on a holiday. Depends what's your, आपके लिए वो glamour क्या है. I feel that being able to take decisions based on how you feel is pretty glamorous.
And the perception is that, it's about like flashy cars, having lots of wealth to just sort of throw around. How much of that do you think is true? Or is it just something that you think is curated, like that's the image that you need to have to survive in the industry?
That's also true. You do need to have a certain image if you're catering to a commercial world altogether. And I think it's pretty obvious. You act a certain way, you wear certain clothes, you drive certain cars, your music videos are a certain way. Because let's say when somebody gets ready, they look really nice, your makeup is on point, your outfit is really nice, you take a picture or you make a reel, you're also, being a commercial singer at that point, you choose to pick a song and, you want ki ye mere din ki highlight hai, this is my photo. So if you look at it from that lens, our job as commercial singers is to give you that moment. When you enjoy, when would you listen to a song? When you're out, you're in the gym, your car's washed, it's nice and clean, you want to take a picture. So that's obviously there. But at the same time, being able to throw around money is a completely different conversation altogether. Like if I would like to spend my money on something, what's the right word to say? Let me put my words together better. If I spend my money, let's say on an expensive car, for you it might be me not being smart with my money. But for me, it might be the reason that I'm making money. So it's different perspectives, but we generalize a lot of things. Okay?
Right.
He's a commercial artist, he's wearing nice clothes, buying nice cars, just throwing away money. But as an individual, I feel I'm working this hard so I could buy this car. So
Right.
It depends how we look at it.
Coming to the other side, so there are a lot of musicians who have also spoken about, silently battling mental health issues, the other side of the glamour. Have you ever felt the pressure of the fame and expectations, and how do you cope with it?
Yeah, that's a nice question. I used to. When you've just begun and you have a successful song, and then you have another successful song, and then you want to maintain that momentum. But I think what I realized, this is like post-COVID, when my music was changing, my sound was changing. I really wanted to do something else while I was really successful in what I was doing. So it was like a conscious decision, me pulling out from something that's working for me and going into something that might not work for me, but I want to do it. So in order to make that change, I had to sort of understand this business better. So my benchmark or my, decision making was then based around my creative satisfaction. Now, जैसे हमने पहले बात की कि being a commercial artist, you have to meet certain standards. But when you are meeting those standards just for the heck of them, कि अगर मैं ऐसा नहीं दिखूंगा तो मैं सक्सेसफुल नहीं लगूंगा लोगों को, ਇੰਨੇ ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਵਿਊਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗੂੰਗਾ, ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਇੱਕ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਪ੍ਰੀਪੇਅਰਿੰਗ ਯੋਰਸੈਲਫ ਫॉर ਫੇਲਿयर, ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਇਵੈਂਚੁਅਲੀ you will fail. you know. Eventually you might not be the most searched artist, you know, somebody new will come, and you know, people will be equally excited about their music. So I don't think you should like base your emotions on the commercial side of you. When it comes to mental health, I think anything that gives you a dopamine release is bad for you. You know, let it be glamour, let it be money, let it be success, let it be anything. Anything which gives you high will have a downer. So being an artist, the emotional roller coaster is very frequent. For instance, generally, if you're performing regularly, you will not have a regular sleeping pattern, because at 2 o'clock you'll be on stage, you know, with a few energy drinks and performing. 4 o'clock, everybody's loud, everybody's wild, everybody's having a good night. And at 5:30, you're sitting in a room all by yourself, all buzzing with energy, and like you're not gonna go to sleep anytime soon. So you have to accept that my life is not very conventional, and how do I maintain my health and my mental health in this high stake emotional roller coaster. That is also part of a job as an artist.
But do you find success isolating, as a lot of people have said, or has it not changed a lot for you?
See, depends. Yeah, in a weird way, yes, because you just don't get successful, right? You don't get lucky. You know, you're working really really hard. You're putting in so many extra hours. So the more you're working, the more you're isolated. You know, you don't get enough time with your friends. You might not have time for some extra drama in your life. There are people who are trying to, what's the right word to say, not letting you be at your best, so you just cut ties. So eventually you realize ki in order to make most of my time, I have to be sort of, engaged with people either with the same vision or with the same heart. And it's an exercise which will leave you lonely. Like अगर आप अपने circle को assess करो based on your goals and their heart, you might be left with very few people. So in a weird way, yes, success does leave you lonely. But I was lonely before getting successful also. ठीक है.
People know Parmish, the public persona. What is something about you that people don't know?
I think I'm pretty like open about my life. Like I've spoken most of the things that I've kind of been through. Like I share. I don't think like people like there is a side that I've kind of. There might be a side of me that is more. What's the right word to say? That you might see a part of me a lot, जो असल ज़िंदगी में शायद कम है, and you might see a little bit of something जो शायद ज़िंदगी में बहुत ज़्यादा है. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes. Could you elaborate on certain qualities that you think?
Quality ज़्यादा नहीं मैंने पता हैगा. But like, maybe my image might come across as somebody who's always having fun, who's always out there, driving nice cars and everything. But that only happens like once or twice a month. Mostly we are working. So I don't think there is anything that I do that others don't. Mm-hmm. So or maybe I have a quality, quote unquote. मैं normal जा बंदा जी.
Some people also criticize Punjabi pop culture, saying that it glorifies alcohol, violence. What is your take on such critique?
Show me any language which doesn't have a gun culture. Every Hindi film or non-Hindi film has an item song which have a girl dancing along with alcohol and probably guys with guns. We've never had such a music video in Punjab. So I don't know like who you're referring to. I haven't ever come across anybody who is specifically saying कि Punjabi music में ही ऐसा है. हाँ, if it comes to strong lyrics, yes. अगर Punjabi language, Punjabi music is so rich कि अगर हार्ट ब्रेक का गाना है तो ਅਸੀਂ तेरे शहर ਨੂੰ सलाम कर ਚੱਲੇ ਆ कि अगर दिल टूटा तो तेरे शहर को भी सलाम करती. हर एक इमोशन ਨੂੰ ਡੀਪ ਡੈਪਥ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਨੇ. ਜੇ ਗਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਪੀੜ ਤੇਰੇ ਜਾਣ ਦੀ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਜਰਾਂਗਾ ਮੈਂ तेरे बगैर ज़िंदगी ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ मैं कि तेरे जाने की पीड़ मैं कैसे सहूँगा तेरे जाने के बाद ज़िंदगी का भी क्या करूँगा. So every emotion that we sing or talk about in our music is in depth. So when it comes to aggression, it's in depth. But at the same time, because such songs get viral, get successful and are being played in the clubs, we start thinking कि यार यही गाने हैं. There are a lot of songs that don't have a gun reference to it or a alcohol reference to it, and they also do a billion streams. But we don't talk about it because then it's not a question.
Do you think artists who do make such kind of music have responsibilities as role models to a younger audience?
Do you think any actor playing a gangster has a social responsibility?
Is that a question for me? It would really depend, I feel, on the depiction. If we're showing him, getting away with brazen violence, then I think that does set a little bit of a dangerous precedent. But I'm not the public figure, so this is not me being interviewed. But yeah, that's my thought on it.
See, that's what I'm saying. Ki there is always a context to what's being portrayed. When you're in a club, you wouldn't go to a club and listen to a sad song. So that song needs to be high energy. And if there's a high energy song, there has to be a certain kind of reference to it. आप दिल टूटे हुए गाने को तो drill beat पे बना नहीं सकते. I mean, you can, but you might not be able to dance on it. So I think it's a commercial music business. And at the same time, it's weird how we feel that as singers should be giving a moral message in a 3-minute content, and how we take away the rest of the 23 hours away. That is my responsibility as an individual. We have schools, we have parents, we have friends, we have families, like we have institutes where we work. Your thoughts are in your, I think when it comes to content, there is a lot worse content than songs that's available on your phone. But those people are not being held accountable. So I think it's very unfair to asking. Yes, as an artist, you have an artistic responsibility. कि मैं अगर एक romantic गाना कर रहा हूँ, I think I should also do a song on farmer suicide. I think I should also do a song on people who are trying to make their ends meet. I think I should make a song on people living in different countries still loving each other and staying away from each other. मैं विछोड़े के उत्ते भी गाना बनाऊँगा. So I feel you might have an artistic responsibility कि आप इस emotion को touch base करो. But I don't think as an artist there should be and to be very honest, we grew up listening to the same music. It's not that this transition came like in 5 years ago. You go 30 years back, there was content about जब पंजाबी गाने mainstream नहीं भी थे, तब हिंदी गानों में भी gun culture थे, alcohol references ही. But then you're watching a film about a cop and a gangster. So both those worlds will be picturized, and we choose to watch that film. If we haven't, if we don't like it, we can just not watch it.
What do you think are some of the misconceptions that people have about celebrities? Whether it is actors, singers, just people who live a public life.
I don't know. आप बताओ क्या लगता होगा लोगों को? That we're always happy, always having fun?
Maybe.
I don't know. Like, see, Instagram is the best moments of us. Sometimes curated, sometimes non-curated. So maybe like, people, if that's the question, people kind of judge you based on your Instagram or your social image. But I think that's the highlights of your month or the week. Or they are just as human as anybody else. But we tend to sort of forget that about certain people.
What is the upside and the downside of being a successful artist?
Upside ही है जी, downside तो है नहीं. Downside की जगह पे the right word is price. What's the price you pay for the upside? So and that is a very basic price. If you say you're losing your privacy, if you say you're losing your peace of mind, if you say you're losing your sleep, well, then you're getting so much money, you're living this lavish life. So that's just the price that you're paying. Upside to being a celebrity is obviously, you're living with your family, you're living on your own terms, you have enough money to sort of, support your life. I think it's beautiful. That's why I said, as an artist, you don't get to complain. I can't say कि यार मेरा travel बहुत था, मैं कल रात को सोया नहीं. I was in a business class flight. I choose not to sleep. I have been a migrant. I have flown, for let's say 13, 14 hours in an economy class ticket and been so happy कि भाई मैं घर जा रहा हूँ. So, I don't think artists should be complaining about anything.
Like you said that, earlier, even a 13, 14 hour long flight would seem like a luxury. Do you think your definition of what makes you happy has changed with time?
I think I feel your success lies in your ability to take decisions based on what's important for you, what you want to do. वो ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. Because I think success isn't just, पैसे ज़्यादा कमाने. मैंने लगता है कि if you're with your family, if you're with your friends, if you're having a good time, and I'm not saying money is not important. Don't be goal driven, don't be money driven. That's not what I'm saying. But that should not be dictating your life. And money should not be telling you what to wear, what to eat, where to go. Because I've seen a lot of people surrender to that. Ki now you're an artist, this is what you have to wear. This is your stylist who, you'll always ये एक चीज़ को 2 बार से ज़्यादा नहीं पहन सकते. ये आपका आउटफिट हो गया. आपको जैकेट ले दी है, वीयर ही पाई दी है. ठीक है. सो मैंने लगता है कि ਤੁਹਾਡੀ success is for you. You dictate the terms. And there are times when you'll be very unhappy in your life, regardless of the fact if you're successful or not. And there'll be time when you're very happy, regardless of the fact if you're successful or not. So I think that is more important. This is just a secondary thing now. And artists, or let's say very high driven, entrepreneurs or businessmen, they tend to believe that their work has become their life, which is not true, at least for me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ji.